Have you ever wondered why some people seem to effortlessly move towards success, while others, just as intelligent and capable, constantly feel stuck, overwhelmed, or behind? The difference often comes down to one key factor. It is not talent. It is not education. It is not even motivation. It is the ability to quickly reset their mind. Yes, that's right. Reset their mind, recenter, refocus, realign, not tomorrow, not next week, but right now, within seconds. And here's the surprising part. This mental reset does not require a retreat to the mountains. It does not require hours of meditation or some massive life change. You can reset your brain and shift your entire mental and emotional state in as little as 20 seconds. 20 seconds, that is it. Let that sink in, because this might just be the most powerful idea you encounter this year. Your ability to succeed, to move forward, to stay on course despite stress, distraction, self-doubt and fatigue depends not on always being perfect or always being motivated. It depends on your ability to recover quickly, to interrupt negative patterns, to regain clarity and power in the moment. That is what high performers do. They don't avoid failure, they reset from it. They do not avoid stress, they regulate through it, and they know how to shift their state at will. That is the true edge. Let us talk about how that works. Your brain, two systems competing for control. To understand the power of a mental reset, we need to understand how the brain operates. You've probably heard of the concept of System 1 and System 2 thinking. These were introduced by psychologist Daniel Kahneman. System 1 is fast, automatic, emotional, and reactive. It's always on and always scanning. It helps you survive, but it is also prone to bias, fear, and knee-jerk reactions. System 2 is slower, more deliberate, more logical, and reflective. It is the part of your brain that helps you plan, create, reason, and decide. Both systems are essential, but here is the catch. System 1 is the default. It is easier. So unless you intentionally shift gears, your brain will default to the path of least resistance. It will stay in stress, distraction, procrastination, or fear. The good news, you can train yourself to interrupt System 1 and activate System 2 on demand. That's what a 20-second reset does. It breaks the automatic loop, it flips the mental switch, it takes you from autopilot to intention. Let us dive into how to do it. The science of the 20-second reset. Why 20 seconds? Why not 5? Why not a full minute? Because 20 seconds hits the sweet spot between doable and effective. It is long enough to shift your physiology and activate your higher brain functions, but it is short enough to bypass resistance. You do not need to schedule it. You do not need to prepare for it. You can do it in the elevator, in your car, at your desk, in a conversation, before hitting send, right after waking up. It is a fast pattern interrupt. And here is the most exciting part. It is backed by science. Neuroscientific studies have shown that even brief pauses can lower cortisol, re-engage the prefrontal cortex, and create a measurable shift in attention, emotion, and behavior. A 20-second intentional action creates a break in the chain of reactivity. It gives you back your agency. So how do we actually use this? What exactly should you do in those 20 seconds? Let me show you 5 powerful, proven reset techniques. Each takes around 20 seconds. Each works in slightly different ways, and together they give you a complete toolkit to stay mentally sharp, emotionally balanced, and energetically aligned no matter what is happening around you. Reset Technique 1. Sensory grounding with 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The first technique is called sensory grounding. It is one of the fastest ways to bring yourself out of your head and back into your body. Here is how it works. Wherever you are, pause. Then name 5 things you can see, 4 things you can feel, 3 things you can hear, 2 things you can smell, 1 thing you can taste. This simple practice immediately shifts your focus from rumination to reality. It engages multiple regions of the brain responsible for sensory processing and reduces overactivity in the fear and worry centers. When you are anxious, stressed, or mentally scattered, grounding reboots your connection to the present moment. And the present moment is where all power lives. You cannot act from the past or the future, only now. Use this before a big meeting, when you are overwhelmed by notifications, when your thoughts are spinning, or when you just need to come back to center. Reset Technique 2. Controlled breathwork to activate calm. Breathing is the remote control for your nervous system. It is free, it is always available, and it is unbelievably effective. The breath tells the brain whether you are safe or under threat. Shallow, rapid breathing sends a danger signal. Long, slow, intentional breathing does the opposite. It activates the parasympathetic nervous system, the body's calming response. Here is a simple 20-second breath reset. Inhale through your nose for 4 seconds. Hold for 4 seconds. Exhale through your mouth for 6 to 8 seconds. Repeat once or twice. This breathing pattern lowers heart rate, improves focus, and resets emotional state. It is used by Navy SEALs, emergency responders, athletes, and therapists for a reason. It is not about emptying your mind, it is about anchoring it. This technique is your go-to tool when you feel tight, agitated, nervous, or disconnected. Do it before you open your inbox, before a difficult conversation, after a mistake, or anytime you need a microdose of resilience. Reset Technique 3. Label and reframe your emotions. Most people are driven by emotions they do not recognize. When you do not know what you're feeling, you cannot change it. You just stay stuck in it. Here's the reset. Pause, take 20 seconds, and identify what you're feeling clearly. Say to yourself or write down, I feel angry. I feel insecure. I feel rushed. I feel excited but unsure. I feel afraid to fail. I feel unprepared. I feel like I'm not enough. That is it. No judgment, just naming it. This is based on research by Dr. Matthew Lieberman and Dr. Dan Siegel. They found that labeling emotions reduces amygdala activity, the panic zone, and increases activity in the prefrontal cortex. In other words, naming your emotion takes you from being inside the emotion to being in charge of it. And from there you can reframe. You can say, this anxiety means I care, or this discomfort means I am growing, or I feel fear, but I choose action. This reset gives you freedom from reactivity. It restores conscious choice. Reset Technique 4, 20-second momentum builder. There is a psychological principle known as activation energy. It is the amount of effort it takes to start something. The harder it is to start, the more likely you are to avoid it. But if you reduce the energy required to begin, even by 20 seconds, you dramatically increase your chances of follow-through. That is the idea behind the 20-second rule, popularized by psychologist Shawn Achor. He discovered that making a positive action 20 seconds easier to begin helped lock it in as a habit. And making a negative behavior 20 seconds harder to start helped eliminate it. You can use this concept as a reset to regain momentum. When you feel stuck or resistant, ask yourself, what is one tiny step I can take right now that takes 20 seconds or less? Write one sentence, open the file, send the email, put on your workout shoes, say the first line of your pitch. Action changes everything. Not because it solves the problem instantly, but because it moves you. It shifts your identity from stuck to in motion, from passive to purposeful. Use this reset anytime inertia tries to hold you back. Reset Technique 5, 20 seconds of visualized success. The final reset is mental rehearsal. Visualization is one of the most researched tools in performance psychology, and the results are extraordinary. Your brain responds to vivid mental imagery, almost the same way it responds to real experience. This means you can train your mind for success, emotionally and neurologically, before you even begin. Here is how to do it. Close your eyes for 20 seconds. Visualize yourself succeeding in the exact scenario you're about to face. See yourself walking confidently into the room. See yourself responding with clarity. See yourself finishing the task with focus and calm. Feel what it will be like to have followed through. This primes your neural circuits for that behavior. It creates a memory of success that your brain can act on, and it boosts confidence, reduces fear, and enhances readiness. This is not positive thinking, this is mental conditioning. The reset stack, a daily practice for mental mastery. Now imagine if you combined these techniques, not all at once, but throughout the day. A reset here, a reset there, 2 minutes total, maybe 3. You would build a rhythm of recovery. You would train your brain to come back to clarity over and over. You would build emotional resilience not by avoiding stress, but by responding to it faster and better. Here is a sample reset stack you can try. In the morning, start with 20 seconds of deep breathing and name your top intention for the day. Before your first big task, do a short visualization of success. Midday, when your energy dips, use the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 grounding reset. Before replying to an emotionally charged message, pause, label your emotion, and reframe. When you feel resistance creeping in, take a 20-second action to break the inertia. Before bed, do one more breath reset and reflect on one win from the day. This is a daily reset rhythm. It is how you stay aligned without burning out. It is how you stay sharp without being rigid. And it is how you keep moving forward when others spiral or stall. Why this matters. Let us zoom out. The ability to reset is not just a mental trick. It is a core leadership skill, a high-performance habit, a form of emotional intelligence. And it is increasingly essential in a world of constant noise, distraction, and uncertainty. Those who thrive are not those who never waver. They are those who recover quickly, who recalibrate fast, who choose presence over panic, action over avoidance, clarity over chaos. And you now have the tools to do exactly that. Not next year, not when things slow down, right now, in 20 seconds. 20. For the next 7 days, commit to using at least one 20-second reset every day. Just one. Pick your moment, choose your technique, and observe what happens. Notice how quickly your mind can shift. Notice how much more intentional your choices become. Notice how much energy and clarity you unlock when you simply pause. Because in those 20 seconds, you are doing something radical. You are reclaiming control. You are choosing who you want to be. You are stepping into leadership of your own mind. And that, more than anything else, is what creates sustainable success. You do not need more time. You need more clarity, more intentionality, more skill in shifting your state when it matters most. And now you have it. So the next time you feel stuck, stressed, scattered, or reactive, remember this. You are one pause away from power, one breath away from calm, one decision away from clarity, one 20-second reset away from being the version of yourself that follows through, that shows up, and that wins. Start now, reset, and begin.